Hi, perfect.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Tomaya. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to talk about today um, what needs to shift in order for your partner or the guy that you're interested in, for him to make you a priority in his life. So we'll see what comes up in regards to that. And if this is the first video of us that you've watched, please have a look below. There is a link there to a video describing what we do and who we are. In this group healings, we use the term XNR, which is extract and release. So whatever comes up, we extract and release it to make room for a new way of being and for new possibilities. Let's see what comes up today. So when I think about, and I've been in that position before, how can I make or what can I change within me to make the guy that I'm with or the guy that I'm interested in to for me to be a priority in his life? Um, and often I look at myself and I go, oh, I basically judge myself. So all those places that I judge myself as not being good enough, and therefore that is the reason I'm not a priority. Are you ready to extract and release for me and for you?
Definitely.
Great. X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is. And then, so we can look into judgment a bit more as well. But it is often that we look at ourselves and go, what needs to be changed? How can I control the situation? How can I change him so I get what I want, or how I end up feeling the way I want to feel in the relationship because there's something lacking at the moment. So all those places that view the dynamic at the moment as, there is something lacking there, are you willing to extract and release?
Yes.
X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is. And I'll give the stage to Rebecca because I can feel she's got a lot to say and come back to me later.
Lots to say. First of all, two things. When we don't feel like a priority, it doesn't mean that we're not a priority. Each person sees things differently. Maybe for someone, his job is the most important thing in the world, but his partner is also the most important. But he thinks a person should work 12 hours a day in order to be successful, so he could provide for his future family. Or I'm saying all kinds of things. It could be male, female, other different scenarios. It doesn't matter. But they define it differently, and they do feel like this person is a priority. They just think that if someone is a priority, they should talk once a day or just text once a day and meet once a week. For them, that means that it's a priority. And for us, it could be that priority means that we talk 5 times a day and every night are together. It's different definitions, different expectations. So first of all, everything that brings up and everything that we defined being a priority, we want to extract and release all that. XNR, 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 and so it is. And the second thing I really wanted to say is when we don't feel like we're their priority, we're not dealing with ourselves and our feelings and occupying our thoughts with ourselves. We're with other people, with their energy, what they should do, how they should act, what they should think. And then there's a lot of resistance there to what they're feeling, and we want to bring all this energy back to us, okay, and to be with choice what we want. If they're not giving us what we want, instead of fighting for it and feeling sad about it, we just take a step back and do our own thing. And you know what, maybe they'll just end up leaving because it's not what we want, or will end up leaving because it's not what we want. But the fight to be someone's priority, this is, there's so much resistance there, and it takes so much of our energy, and we all the time feel frustrated and angry and sad and disappointed. It's like a whole whirlwind of of feelings that make us feel bad because we're disconnected from ourselves. We're very attached to where they are and what they want instead of what we want. And this is a time where we could actually go do more hobbies, go do more things, maybe even date other people, or find something to occupy for ourselves, do some healing work, find what makes us happy, and either they'll join it or we'll just find someone who's more what we want instead of trying to change them to be what we want. So everything that brings up, and everything that we're with others instead of with ourselves, and everything that keep on looking what they're doing, what they want, instead of what we're doing and what we want. Do want to extract and release everything that brings up.
Yes.
And so it is.
It has definitely taken me years of my journey to really feel all that energy that goes outward, to focusing on what the other person is feeling, or focusing on the dynamic and how I'd like to change it or how I'd like to control it, as opposed to looking inward. So all those places that, the energy is focused outward as opposed to inward, are we willing to extract and release and change?
Definitely.
X and R, X and R, X and R, so it is. And how would it feel like? What would our world be like if the energy is directed inward? And maybe we know how that feels. Maybe we've achieved that in a work setting, or in our personal life, but not in a relationship. And then in a relationship, it is different. It's a different energy. It's a different dynamic to everything else. And then there, again, the focus is outward as opposed to inward. And what would allow us to recognize that and to direct that energy inward and know what that feels like? So everything preventing us from doing that, are we willing to extract and release?
Yes.
X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is. And when the energy is directed inward, it's not that we don't care about what happens outside of our existence. It's that it's so much easier to notice any misalignment with our energy. And then it's if we know what we want to feel, if we know what our needs are, if we know what makes us feel good, and what challenges us in a good way, and what experiences we definitely don't want to invite in to our realm, then it is so much easier to let go of what's not in alignment with that. We're very, very clear because we're focused on our experience and not on the relationship or on the guy or on woman. So everything preventing us from increasing that feeling, creating that, generating it, and having more and more of it. Because even if we've had a glimpse of it, it is so easy to go back to old patterns. So everything preventing us from creating more and more of this, I want to extract and release.
Definitely.
X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is.
And I'd love to say something that I think I say in most videos, but first of all, every single time we say it goes deeper in our subconscious mind, in our conscious mind, and we start thinking this way. And this is a really healthy way to see things. When we feel like we're suffering, we're not getting what we want, this is a good time to see where our resistance is, what we're resisting reality usually. It doesn't have to be with feeling not a priority. It's in every single subject. And then once we take a look at where we're resisting, we see that we're resisting them. We're resisting the reality. This is where we lose our energy, our fun, our happiness. And this is perfect timing, again, to see where the focus is. Now, this is the reality right now. They're not doing what we want, but instead of wasting all our energy trying to change them, trying to convince them, arguing for it, crying for it, or just being miserable with ourselves because it's not happening, we could choose to focus what we can do to feel better. We have no control over outer reality, only how we accept it and what we can do to change it and what we could do to change the way we see it and feel about it. That's the only thing where we actually have all the control. So first of all, everything that brings up, do we want to extract and release all of that? X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is. So it's possible that we look where we can feel better right now, this moment, nothing to do with them. And yes, we want our perfect relationship. We want to feel prioritized, definitely. But once we prioritize ourselves, we give it to ourselves, first of all, we get into this energy, first of all, then we'll find someone who does it for us. But we're not dependent on this specific person to do it. And if he doesn't do it, we don't lose ourselves. We don't feel miserable. We're happy. And usually when we're happy, we attract everything we want. That's the way the universal law works. We're happy, we feel good, everything comes to us with a lot more ease. But even the things that don't come to us, at least we're not miserable with them, because this is right now the current reality. So let's be as happy as possible with the current reality. And from there, we can make a lot of changes. We could choose. We could have so much more choice when we're relaxed and happier than ever. So everything that doesn't allow that, they want to extract and release all of that.
Yes.
X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is.
And I think often, wanting to be a priority, someone else's priority, is linked to self-worth. If I'm a priority in someone else's life, that means I'm worthy. And then my confidence and my self-esteem is based on that. So all of a sudden that priority changes. All of a sudden I feel like I'm second place, I'm third place, or I don't get the attention that I'm used to from this person or the last, in comparison to what I'm used to, then that affects my self-esteem and that affects my feeling of worthiness. So everything, all links that we've made between, being a priority, or how we perceive it as a priority, into someone else, and our own sense of worthiness. Are we willing to, look at it differently? Are we willing to change it? Are we willing to destroy the connection that we've made there?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to extract and release all of that. X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is.
And usually when we make ourselves a priority, then, we do fun things for us and everything. We feel good. When people feel good, it's very attractive. It's an attractive quality. And maybe we go to hobbies, to things, we'll meet new people, meet other people, and it makes us feel more precisely what we do want. We'll attract different people and we'll have fun doing it. That's the most important thing. Or maybe once we're not all the time available or chasing them, there's this energy dynamic where there's a runner and a chaser in many relationships, and the push-pull. Once we take a step back and we're not chasing them, chasing their energy, even if we don't whine to them or argue with them or fight for it, the fact that we feel it inside, people feel our energy, even if they don't know to express it. Even if we don't express it out loud, it's inside and it's there. Once we take a step back from being all over them and how they prioritize us, we prioritize ourselves. They'll feel this loss of our energy. They'll feel us like, in our own space, feeling good. And that's a very attractive quality. They'll feel that, hey, they're not chasing us anymore. They're not all the time calculating. And then they'll come to check up on us, and we'll have a lot more choice. Do we still want them right now? Do we not? But we'll make a choice that when we feel full with ourselves, when we're satisfied with our life, not out of neediness, not out of loneliness, out of being our own being, which our own happy being, and then they're a nice bonus, and that is such an attractive quality. So everything that doesn't allow us to be there, do we want to extract and release all that, and everything that brings up?
Yes.
X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is.
Yeah, everything that doesn't allow us to make ourselves the priority, would you like to extract and release?
Definitely.
X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is. I'm not actually sure if I already said that before, but I felt really strongly to say it again. So, yeah, we started the video with, suggestion, well, as the name implies, how would we make another, how would we be a priority? How can we be a priority in someone else's life, I mean, a partner? But I hope you can see how, the aim is here to shift how we view that. And by making ourselves the priority and by looking inward, that dynamic will change, that dynamic will shift. And how we feel in that dynamic will change. And once you're a priority in your own life, then that will be reflected, or things will change and shift. So you feel that way in your life. And everything preventing you from making those shifts and changes, are you willing to extract and release?
Yeah.
X and R, X and R, X and R, and so it is. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, we'd love to read your comments to see where this met you. If you liked what the content, what this content, what it gave you, any ideas you have about this subject, any requests, anything you like. We love reading comments, and we always will give you more videos of what you want. We could go deeper into one subject, a totally different subject. Feel free, and if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.